Lago. And if you're on hold, stay on hold because we're going to just check in with a reporter for a few minutes. This is Stephen Neukam from Axios. He's the co-author of the Hill Leaders newsletter. Stephen, are you there?
I am, yes.
Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us on short notice. Want to know what your reaction or what you've heard of reaction from Republicans and Democrats in Congress about these events.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me. I think that the reaction from Republicans and Democrats, at least so far, has been one that you could expect or anticipate. Republicans, including top Republicans like the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Tom Cotton, have come out today on social media and backed this operation from the president to capture Maduro in Venezuela. And Democrats are upset, saying that this is an unnecessary war from a president who promised to not start more wars and end wars across the globe. So, I would say just in general, a pretty anticipated response, one that you could expect from both sides, at least so far.
And any indication that any members of Congress were given a heads up about these actions?
We do know that at least some Republicans were given a heads up beforehand. For example, Senator Lindsey Graham spoke to Axios colleague Barack Ravid today and told him that he spoke to President Trump on Thursday night about Venezuela. So we do know that some Republicans found out beforehand. We have not heard yet from any Democratic leaders on the Intelligence Committee or House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries or Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. So once we do, we should have a better understanding of if Democratic leaders were notified before the raid began.
And Stephen, there had been some proposed legislation about forcing the president to come and get authorization from Congress. Whatever happened with all of those proposed legislation? What happened with that?
Yeah. So there's been a number of times over the last year that these bills have been brought to the floor on the Senate because once you propose this type of legislation, the authorization of military force, it's privileged, so any senator can force a floor vote. And we've sort of seen in the lead up to this raid, the campaign of boat strikes off the coast of Venezuela. Democrats have repeatedly offered these pieces of legislation each time that there were more boat strikes. And every time, save for one or two Senate Republicans, every Republican voted against the legislation with almost all Democrats voting for it, and the legislation failed. So, it's sort of shows just the length that Republicans are letting the president have in terms of dealing with the military, but also their unwillingness to this point to break with him on global affairs.
And the House and the Senate are scheduled to come back into session early this week. Is there any indication that they will expedite that? Will they come in sooner into session, or what are you hearing?
I don't think we will expect them back in Washington earlier than they're expected to be back next week. But I would say that there's going to be a lot of conversation about Venezuela on the Hill. I think you will probably see a number of Democrats offer the type of legislation that we were just talking about, the authorization for the use of military force, making lawmakers sort of have an up and down, go on the record on that. The interesting thing will obviously be to look at whether Republicans are more critical of the president now that this was, a full-fledged, boots on ground military operation in Venezuela.
All right. That is Stephen Neukam, Axios, co-author of Hill Leaders newsletter. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And now joining us by Zoom.